To heck with 12 noon. Like his exhortation to not fuss over the name Jeet Kune Do, I think that this river rafting reference really requires rigorous reflection rather than rabid acceptance. Hello, everyone. This is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Do Rebel. Welcome to the much delayed I Love Jeet Kune Do broadcast 244. This is the one about the carrying of the Jeet Kune Do boat. As you're logging in, if you'd be kind enough to say where you're logging in from, hit the like button and feel free to continue doing so throughout the broadcast. If you're catching the simulcast over on the YouTube, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell as well. If you enjoy my work and you'd like to support the program, please visit jkdrebel.com, click on the Rebel Gear link, and that's where you'll see stuff like this, the Keep Calm and Learn to Fight Ferociously t-shirt, also available as long sleeve sweatshirt, hoodie. Is this one? I think this one's also a coffee mug, right? But you can check it out, jkdrebel.com. Click on the Rebel Gear link. But of course, the best thing you can do is to share this video and spread the word about the I Love Jeet Kune Do broadcasts. Okay, so let me read you the quote, the relevant quote. Again, let me remind you, Jeet Kune Do is just a name used, a boat to get across, and once across, it is to be discarded and not to be carried on one's back. So the proverbial question is, what's Bruce Lee saying here? Is he saying that after Jeet Kune Do class, you put your Jeet Kune Do aside and you don't take any aspect of it with you? Or is he saying that Jeet Kune Do is simply scientific street fighting, and so you don't need to make anything more of it? Or is he cautioning his followers to not let Jeet Kune Do become encumbered by the trappings of classicalism or traditionalism? See, there's always more than one way to interpret anything that Bruce Lee said or anything that Bruce Lee wrote, right? Why is that? Because that's life. That's the way life goes. Things change, knowledge and understanding increase. Factors that were non-existent at the time of the saying or at the time of the writing are now factors that might play an important role. So this idea of the carrying of the Jeet Kune Do boat on one's back, what if at the time that Bruce Lee wrote this or thought this, boats or canoes were a clumsy thing, not at all given to easy portability? Maybe he was saying that JKD should be taken seriously, but also lightly, that it should not be a vehicle. Well, no, let me rephrase that in the positive. It should be a vehicle that brings you to a level of understanding. But then it's not supposed to turn on you and become its own classical mess with prescribed techniques or sequences, all the stuff that Bruce Lee railed against, right? So in essence, keep it light and don't get bogged down. But this picture that I used in the postcard, right? This I discovered is called portage, literally from the Latin and the French, meaning to carry, right? I don't know why Spanish changed the verb. Okay, so this is called portage. Now it's interesting because you can take, I guess this is a fiberglass constructed canoe, so you can actually use this to cross the river, and then you don't have to discard it once you get there. You can literally hoist this up above your head, not necessarily on your back, and carry it with you. So context is what matters. So mixed metaphorically speaking, it's a phrase, Bruce Lee's advice would not apply in today's canoeing world. And so it warrants consideration in the Jeet Kune Do world as well. If people are thinking that Jeet Kune Do is not something that can permeate one's entire being. If they're taking what Bruce Lee wrote or said at face value, right? Discard Jeet Kune Do at some point. Don't carry it on your back. That doesn't sound like a recipe for deep work, deep thinking, deep involvement in Jeet Kune Do. Almost sounds as if he's relegating Jeet Kune Do to the arena of surface dwelling. That's a talk for another occasion, right? Now, in case you were wondering, and I got to thank Cass Magda, who is the person who encouraged me to take a look into the book Zen and Japanese Culture, and also to James Bishop, who is one person who has done a deep dive into locating the sources for a lot of Bruce Lee aphorisms or what have you. So in case you're wondering, I looked this up, and the parable of the raft or the canoe or what have you appears in something called, I got to read this. It appears in something called Alagadapuma. Yeah, so, okay. It appears in a sutta of the Sutta Pitaka. Obviously, I have no idea what any of that is, right? But it's referred to as the water snake simile. And it's a sutta in which the Buddha describes the importance of learning properly, learning the Dharma, as they say, properly, and then the danger of clinging to views. And this appears to be what is difficult for some JKD people to understand. They think that if you abide by Bruce Lee's guidance not to become anchored down, and to use Bruce Lee phraseology, not to become anchored down by reactionary pattern, then if you adhere to that, you are somehow abandoning Jeet Kune Do. In effect, if you don't declare Jeet Kune Do to be the baddest art on the planet, right, then you're not a true Jeet Kune Do practitioner. They forget, again, using Bruce Lee terminology. Bruce Lee himself said that any attempt to define Jeet Kune Do in terms of a distinct style is to labor under the duality of for and against, which is what the Buddha was saying. So to paraphrase, to finish up and paraphrase the Buddha's sayings into Bruce Lee-like words. In the same way, students, have I shown to you Jeet Kune Do's similitude to a raft as having the purpose of crossing over, not the purpose of being clung to. Okay, so in case anybody was wondering, yesterday I was out running errands, and around 4:30 or so, the dudette got the invitation from the computer to do an update, and maybe it's just my computer, but the Windows update took literally the whole night. And so I tried and tried and tried. Every time that it would say 100% or what have you, I tried to get on and stick to a Wednesday evening broadcast. Didn't work. But anyhow, she apologized and she went out to get Indian food. So the rest of the evening was quite enjoyable. Right. Okay. Anyhow, so what say you? This idea of the whole carrying of the boat. How should we interpret that? Is it something where Bruce Lee is saying, well, don't take Jeet Kune Do too seriously? The same way that people interpret "don't fuss over the name" as "don't take Jeet Kune Do too seriously." You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. That's all I got to say about this video. If you like what you heard, rate, subscribe, hit the notification bell over on the YouTube. Follow me on Twitter at Dwight Woods and on Instagram at Dwight D Woods. Not _ Dwight D Woods _. That's still the hacked account. Delete that. If you follow me on Instagram, just delete that one. It's just Dwight D Woods, one whole word. Right? At paypal.me/unifiedma Miami is the let me get rid of this thing. Hang on a sec. Is the raw but edited version of the Jeet Kune Do Journey, Volume 1. I've taken now to calling this an extension of the Ask Me Anything podcast, right? So that's available, paypal.me/unifiedma Miami. On tomorrow, tomorrow, the Jeet Kune Do dialogues will be with old buddy of mine, Sully Welch of the Welch Martial Art Experience in Atlanta. Should be at 4 p.m. tomorrow. We're going to start a little bit early. We're also going to try to do a walk-in tour of his new facility while staying connected to the internet and what have you. Yesterday was a red day. Today is actually a black and white or gray day. So there you go. I'll give you time to read this and dig what it's about. Okay, so that's it. I'll see some of you tomorrow at 4 p.m. To hang out with Sully. If not, I'll see you next week for another issue of the I Love Jeet Kune Do broadcast. Until then, this is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Do Rebel, signing off. You guys enjoy the rest of your day and talk soon. All right, take care.